don't give a if the guy grabbed 20 years ago. Like, what does that have to do with president?
You don't grab.
No. Grabs you.
Gravitates to your hand.
Well, I'm saying it the way the media.
No, I know. I understand that. But what I'm saying,
that's not the truth.
You got to put it in context.
Yeah, that's
you
not
got to put it in context. How many men out there have married up or slept with somebody that they know they can't because they got money or power or whatever it is? Men are visual. Women want that security and all that, so they'll do what they do. And a man, if you look good, he gonna think about it, at least.
All right. So episode number 3.
My hair look all right.
Your hair looks perfect,
yours
man.
does.
Then my shit looks good?
Your shit is good.
I have to do a little trim.
It's been a minute.
But you know, that's what we do though, man. We got life.
Yeah.
We got life.
100%.
You got 40 cars in your driveway today?
You know what I'm saying?
You want to tell them about that shit?
Well, no. We can get there later. It's just, it's just life stuff. You're dealing with young adults like these.
It's a different time.
What is this? These are Gen Z?
I don't know, man.
This is the Gen Z? Like, these are like all the kids that still live at home with their parents.
I've lost.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, there's so many letters now that...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know. You could have offended somebody right now.
I hope not. It's just it's the reality we live in.
Yeah.
And it's like a domino effect because I left home at 17, and I would have been terrified for my son, for him, not for me, for him to. You know what I'm saying? Like, because how the world is. Yeah. I mean, my first apartment with my 2 brothers, we was paying like $185 a month.
How much was that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you could have like a regular part-time job,
was a revolving door, huh?
Yeah, and you can survive. But now, I mean, it's crazy.
It's a different thing.
So,
well, listen, man, lots happened. They tried to kill Trump twice. Maybe we should talk about that for a minute.
Wow.
How crazy. Like, they got to the point where they were like, look, the only way to stop this is just to kill him. Like,
so, like, this is like, we're like 4 and some 5s. 2016 is this stuff really start going. And then, after 2020, you know what I'm saying, like that whole debacle, I still just, my skin crawls to think this, Biden had more votes than
Obama.
than the history of voting. And then now he couldn't even finish. And then they handed off to the other one who was last in that situation. The only
person was left.
And now we're like faced with like this choice, and I'm just like, are y'all paying attention? I mean, like, forget the emotion, forget the personalities, forget
skin color,
all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, think about, because a lot of people have never traveled abroad, so they don't really respect the United States, or they take it for granted because they need to go to some other places and understand that this shit could be over.
Yeah,
like,
they have
people
no
don't
idea.
understand. Like, I've been to Russia, where there are no roads without potholes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've been there.
I've seen a couple of people with Escalades, and I'm just like, wow, I know they driving.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
like
just
a video game.
I've been to India.
Yeah,
where the intersections don't
exist.
Really have lights.
They just do whatever.
It's just 10,000 people trying to go somewhere at the same time. Yeah. Like, literally, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm like, literally, the intersections look like a concert, but they're trying to go somewhere. Yeah. And so people are not really respecting what's going on. And, I was having a conversation with my dad, and, I was, just kind of casually. Yeah. I don't really care who you vote for per se, but I just kind of, what's your opinion? And so he's like, "Are you a Trump supporter?" And it's like, I'm not a Trump supporter, because when you say Trump supporter, I see pickup trucks with Confederate flags and people screaming. I'm like, no, I'm not a Trump supporter. Yeah. I'm just an American who wants America back. I want America to be great. Yeah. I don't remember it being great before. I was born in '66, so it might have been, You know what I mean? But the point is,
better,
if
sure.
that's your mantra, if that's your attitude, and you want to make it better, like for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't understand. You know, they he's just trying to give tax breaks to the rich or the billionaires. Well, who owns the companies that you're partaking in?
Right.
So if you put heat on them, where's the heat gonna go? You think they're gonna take the heat? They're gonna spread it out among us.
That's right.
So, in other words, it trickles down, and if they're giving tax breaks to business owners, and every single person in America could have a business, and the business doesn't even have to make money. You you get a business, and now it offsets your W-2, your 9 to 5. We aren't taught financial literacy, so people just don't know this type of stuff. They feel like my only choice is a job or welfare. You know, owning the business is too hard. You could do both simultaneously. I mean, I got like 6 businesses.
No, I was gonna say.
And a W-2. And I'm equity, and you know what I'm saying? Like you could do all that stuff. Maybe not, you won't excel at any of it, but one thing is not enough these days. So you got to be pretty good at a whole bunch of shit in order to not feel like your world is crumbling down.
And part of that is you know, the part of the problem is they don't teach the right things.
Exactly.
Like they don't like. I mean,
it's like hidden, or what they call it, gatekeeping.
Yeah.
It's called gatekeeping, and it's like the answers are out there. You know, IQ doesn't mean billionaire. A lot of these billionaires, they're just lucky. You know, they get some
right
kind
time,
of
right place,
some kind of equity
right
play. You know, some company their friend is starting, and they put $10,000 in there, and they 100,000% X. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And that's a lot of people are lucky like that. You know, a lot of people started with nothing.
Well, it's also who you know, right?
And so
kind of like the deal.
It's who you know and who knows you.
Right. Exactly. The deal that we were just talking about, right?
The deal we were just talking about.
Trade platform and stuff like that. Most people don't even know what that is.
No,
like, you know, what is the trade
it's way over your head. So the point I'm trying to make is, though, you know, all I see on the other side, and I'm not really even against it, but I'm just saying, okay, I'm looking at both sides. And if you're looking on the left, it's just because you're emotionally attached to the, you know, to the abortion situation, the racial situation, the female situation.
Or you just don't like Trump.
That's really, I should have said that first. That's like number one.
That's really, you just don't like him. You know what I mean?
But I have a problem with people saying they don't like Trump on their own. If they don't like Trump on their own, like he was one of, maybe if you were one of the people where he stiffed them and didn't pay him, I can understand that person not liking Trump. They have a personal reason not to like Trump. But everybody else they don't like Trump because they was told to not like Trump. Because I'm 58, right? So Trump has been in my life since the 70s, to where I noticed him in the 80s, right? So he's been the same exact dude, except for now he has a bigger microphone and a bigger platform. But his personality's been the same. He probably good. And he's getting bombarded with stuff. And I'm like, how do y'all expect him to act when he's being attacked constantly? And hold up, but he's rallying every single day. He plays golf every single day. Y'all ain't phasing him. No. You ain't he dodging bullets. You ain't phasing him.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said about the when he was playing golf and the guy was trying to kill him on the golf course?
What did he say?
He was like, you know, I would have liked to just finish that putt.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that was his response. I'm like,
phasing him.
That's a play.
So, like he doesn't even need to do it. That's the crazy thing. I'm just like, they trying to make him quit, and I'm just like, he reminds me of myself when, you know, back in the 80s or late 80s, they said, you could never be a bodybuilder. You're too tall. You're too skinny. I'm just like...
And you went to the top of the game.
I'm like, what? Excuse me? You know what I'm saying?
Now
so that's what they really doing. If they just going and... I mean, they should have just let him go on and have his 4 years, and then he would just be gone.
He'd be done.
But now he's... Now you done basically kicked the bear. And anybody that's using logic and non-emotion can see that there's only really one choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really only one choice.
Well, the problem is, look, like, I'm not, people ask me all the time, like, are you Republican or are you Democrat? I'm like, look, I don't label myself. I'm sense and logic. I'm central, right?
Sense and logic, that's all I care about.
You show me two people, I'm going to choose the one that I feel is going to make my life better for my family, better for, you know, this country. That's who I'm going to go with. It has nothing to do with skin color, gender,
personality,
or
emotion.
I don't give a fuck if the guy grabbed pussy 20 years ago. Like, what does that have to do with president?
I'm gonna have to interject on that one because when you're a billionaire celebrity, you don't grab pussy.
No.
Pussy
grabs you.
Pussy gravitates to your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like you remember Stewie at the top of the stairs when he was about to That's what when you got it like that, you're dodging it.
Yeah.
So I'm not even really.
Well, I'm saying it the way the media.
No, I know. I understand that. But what I'm saying,
that's not
you
got to
put it in context.
Yeah,
that's you got to put it in context. How many men out there have married up or slept with somebody that they know they can't because they got money or power or whatever it is? Men are visual. Women want that security and all that, so they'll do what they do. And a man, if you look good, he gonna think about it at least.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't look good, man.
Well, that's true.
Listen, man.
That's true. I don't have that appetite no more, so I have to remember that.
But you know what I'm saying? That. You know, just like you were saying, like you were just talking about the thing, the lady who was talking about the all the evidence behind, you know, men's how much sperm a man makes per day and
how we're wired.
How we're wired. That was interesting. Like
it's very interesting. We're wired to be polygamous, to build empires.
Right.
You know, all the great men of old had multiple wives, multiple girlfriends, multiple dozens and hundreds of kids if necessary. I mean, Genghis Khan. I mean, think about
half the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Got his blood.
So, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's natural.
Right.
So when you choose a woman and you choose to be monogamous, I think that's godlike. That's when you are stepping outside of your the flesh, the animal in you, and you're controlling yourself because it's almost impossible to control unless you
have to make a choice.
Grab the steering wheel and like, literally control yourself. So
do not put that shit on cruise control.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you just let nature take its course, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, you can't.
It's a wrap.
You can't. Especially, you know, dude, even dudes with low testosterone.
Yeah.
Or that way.
I mean, I guess we have multiple genders and all this type of stuff, but we're talking straight hetero, normal, functioning, you know what I'm saying? Like no questions. And then you got, the freak offs where it's like they're not even technically considering themselves gay. It's just domination and power.
Yeah, that's like,
and I'm just like,
you talking about Diddy?
Well,
we can talk about Diddy. That's a whole different
Diddy or didn't he? It's like, but it's not. He's being singled out now or whatever. But he's been on deck for a minute.
Yeah, well, his problem. Did you ever see that video of him?
He's been on deck for a minute.
Yeah. Well, and did you ever see that Cat Williams thing when he was on
Shannon Sharp? Oh man.
And he was like, "Look, this year everybody's still going to be exposed."
Well, people when you say the word apocalypse, people think it's apocalypse means the revealing.
Yeah.
In other words, the cover's about to be removed. That's what apocalypse means.
Yeah.
And so we are definitely in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You can't really hide. You can't hide yourself. You really can't hide anything.
No.
Once the blockchain kicks all the way in, bro, everything is going to be tokenized.
Well, what the interesting red flags to all that was, all of a sudden, all of these people, all these celebrities, started deleting their Twitters and shit. Usher took his shit down. You know what I mean? Like they were naming all these celebrities that started just taking their shit down because they were like.
Well, usually that's a sign of
something went down.
Guilt, whether it be actual or by association.
Right.
So and they always like the Bible says, everything done in the dark will come to light.
Yeah.
And it's just way more lights and cameras out now, and so nothing's safe, nothing's sacred anymore. So
people just need to learn to just stay on their path and just keep it a righteous path. Don't be on that path where you're taking advantage of people or doing wrong things. Like we're all grown-ups, man. We know when we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I can't remember who it was. I need to start remembering these people's names because they give me good info. But I be listening to the message more so than the messenger because they probably didn't make it up themselves anyway.
Yeah, they probably got something.
And you talk about people find God when they're alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you find out God is real when you're by yourself. I remember with my experience.
In the dark.
With my experience definitely. And everybody I ever talked to that's had that, I don't know, just a revealing to where you know God is real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't like prove it in the traditional sense. Yeah. And if I could prove God physically, then would he really be God? You know what I'm saying? Like if I understood everything about it, right. Why would I worship? You know what I'm saying? Why would I pay homage to? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I pray, I pray to the creator of everything because, you know, the original Hebrew text, like, so the Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. But the original Hebrew text says, the Father of the beginnings created the Elohim, the heavens and the earth. So in other words, he created little g's first, and then they created everything after. That's when he said, let us make man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we don't, now that's where you get all the Greek mythology and all the stuff from, those are the little g's, those are the demigods that were, you know, some of them were half man, half God, and some, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I find myself praying to the creator first and foremost.
So when you pray, do you say Jesus in Jesus' name?
In Jesus' name, okay. Yes, because that's the Son of God. But I'm saying, like, that's been convoluted as well. So you got Yeshua, you got Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so
it can get confusing.
I'm spiritually covering my bases because I can't say for certain that I know because I'm depending on the scriptures and the scrolls. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I know that the original text before any of these translations says the Father of the beginnings, which means creator of all things, created the Elohim, which is the little g's, the heavens and the earth. So I feel like if you know that, when that's been hidden from everyone, if you know that, then you could look at it from a different perspective. And then I add in my personal experience, you know, how God showed me that he was real in our terms, in our physical terms. And I'm a changed man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know me from 20, 30 years ago. I'm not the same. No. I'm not the same dude.
No, that's definitely not the same person.
So,
but that's good. You know, you're evolving into a better human being.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and like, I mean, we've both been on that side.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
100.
Bro. And I feel better now, but I also feel better because I experienced all that, right? So I went through all that stuff. So it's not somebody telling me like, hey, this is how you would feel if you did this. I'm like, no, I know exactly how I feel.
Exactly.
Because I was the one doing that
exactly.
shit. You know what I mean? So that makes this journey to getting to where I am right now so much better because I went through all of those failures, you know, or all those experiences and all those, you know, I built all my scars going through all that. So I know exactly how it feels. You know, even when you think on the outside, everybody else is like looking at your life and going, wow, man, you must have the best life in the world. And you just, when you're by yourself, you're like, man, there's got to be more, man. I'm not happy. I have all these things that everybody else wants, but they can't get it, right? But I can get it, but I'm still not happy. Like, what's going on? What do I need to do? Like, what else is there? You know?
You know, I'm lucky. I was able to find my purpose when I was younger. And my mentor said, your purpose is that thing that comes easy to you, but that's usually difficult for others. Right. And then if you do that thing and then you can figure out how to monetize it or you know, make money at it, boom, you're in there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be happy. You're going to be, you know, fulfilled, living in your passion and taking care of your family. So I was lucky in that aspect. And that's why, you know, like bodybuilding has done so much for me.
More than people think.
But it took me going to a level that most people won't go to because there's a physical level of bodybuilding, and then there's that mental level that you have to get to in order to get to the top of the game. Then you have the business side that's even above that. So you have to you don't have to conform to the business, but usually that's going to be that hurdle that's the hardest for you to get over. In other words, I might be able to beat all the guys standing next to me, but, you know, on that business side of it, am I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part I didn't really master or didn't even really care to. Well, I was focused on the physique part.
Yeah.
And when I learned about the human body, that is of value to me now because that's allowing me to
have longevity.
You know, to have longevity. Yeah. To help teach and train other people, I get a lot of, like like my family calls me Dr. Daddy. He was like, you should have been a doctor. I'm like, well, then I would have never learned all the stuff that I know.
You would have been
I would have been conformed to, you know, what's in the curriculum. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, God showed me a lot of the stuff that I know. Mm-hmm. And then he showed me that it's me showing you. You know what I'm saying? Not just like I thought of it. You know how a lot of people, when you are successful and then you think that it's you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then it's really, it's not you. You know what I'm saying?
That's not reality.
So, I basically went through that whole phase, and I realized that it wasn't me. And then it also showed me how to pay attention and really learn and absorb the things that, you know, that God was showing me through the whole universe. Like everything's connected. Right. And he started sending me trials and tribulations and challenges, and you know the stories, like the lawsuit, the cancer, the mother dying, both grandmothers, dog. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like bad investments. You know what I'm saying, like all those things are designed to make you stumble, to make you fall, to crush you, to end you, and to be going through that stuff and still, you know, keeping my eyes where they're supposed to be.
Well, it's really easy to get discouraged, right? Yeah. I mean, getting discouraged is not difficult these days. It's really easy to do that. Yeah. So you got to grab a hold of those things and those thoughts and redirect them. Yep. You know, the energy needs to be redirected.
You just said the key word. It's frequencies. Yeah. It's like tuning a radio. If you're vibrating on this frequency, those things similar things that are on that frequency is going to be attracted to you. Yeah. If you're vibrating in low frequency, that woe is me victim mentality. Yeah. Then victims, because that's the mentality that I had when I was going through all those things. That was the mentality that I actually had. Mentality. Yep. And it was like dominoes piling on. Yeah. But in the midst of it, though, is when I realized that this is,
what am I doing?
This is a challenge. This is something that I'm supposed to embrace so I can overcome. Yeah. You know, so I learned a lot. You know, like I said, going through the lawsuit, I learned so much. It'll probably keep me from getting sued again. Oh, yeah. Going through my wife's cancer, I learned so much.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's helping
that's a story
me help so many people. You know, I got a friend of mine is one of the top open heart surgeons in the world. Mm-hmm. Been doing it for 40 years. Mm-hmm. And so he called me one day and asked me to help his son get in shape. So I've been working with his son for about a year. Yeah. He loves it, whatever. And so the other day he called me and he was telling me how, you know, I've been doing this for 40 years. And, you know, when you've been doing something that long, you can tend to become complacent. Mm-hmm. He said, so I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to switch jobs. I'm like, well, what you going to do next? Well, I mean, are you leveling up or are you leveling down? Yeah. So now he's in charge of all the organ transplants. Basically the gathering of the organs. So when they get a call, you know, they have to wait. It's like a whole process. Yeah. I don't have to get
organ
into it now.
Organ donors and all that,
Yeah, so it's a whole process because they got to try to preserve the organs. And then all the organs aren't going to one person. You know, you got the liver going there. You know, that's a whole big. And so I was like, do you have a protocol for the people who are to receive these organs? In other words, if I'm getting a liver transplant or a kidney transplant, whatever killed my kidney or my liver, it's still going on. Yeah. So do you have a program to like address that? So, you know, the lifestyle flip to get people involved in, you know, that way when they get this new organ.
They have to do the same thing.
And he was like, no, but I need that. I bet. And I was like, well, that's what I do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they offered me a job.
Nice.
I'm a little intimidated because I don't want to be like in sterile, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to like get with the people while they're still sick and show them how to change their lifestyle. That way, when their number's called, they go get the organ. They're already doing the things that they need to be doing so they can live a healthier life. Right. I just thought that was crazy. And bodybuilding put me in a position to be able to even, because I don't have any degrees in medical degrees or no, I got certifications and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying? Like everything that I know is from experiencing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I think experience is more important than a piece of paper, for sure.
Oh, 100.
You know what I mean? Like,
100.
How many fat trainers exist? And the thought of someone that wants to get in shape paying a fat person to get them in shape is so ridiculous and backwards.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. Like, why would you go to somebody who can't get themselves in shape to get you in shape?
Yeah, my first, I don't know. So I started seeing personal trainers like in 1989, 90.
Yeah.
It might have been some before that, but that's when I first started. Over at Buford Highway, Gold's Gym.
Oh,
and then it became Main Event over there.
Main Event, yeah.
So I used to watch these dudes, and there was one dude in there who was buffed, but all the other trainers looked like they was office workers or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I used, 3 years in the gym watching people religiously show up, train. I mean, I knew their workouts, and I wasn't even working out with them.
And they didn't change.
And they didn't change not one bit. So I didn't want to be a personal trainer. I didn't want to be associated with none of that.
You're gonna be my billboard walking around.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I was just like, this is a scam. I'm like, all four of y'all leaning on the machines, talking to each other, and y'all paying this? Man, that was a trip to me.
Imagine if there were smartphones back then. People would be taking selfies and shit by themselves.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Don't even get me with
that stuff is so crazy to me.
Don't even get me with the smartphones between sets.
How about the dudes that come in there and set up a tripod? And they're like,
I was at the gym this morning. This guy was doing one-arm dumbbell rows, right? And he had the phone on the
floor
bench, right? And he's rowing, right? And
he's talking?
I'm training. No. I thought he was watching a exercise. I thought he was like working out with somebody on the screen.
Oh, okay.
He's watching videos. I'm just like, oh my God.
Hey, if you're watching our podcast, it's okay. Other than that, come on, man. What the fuck?
I'm like, bro, are you? I'm like, okay. I mean, his form wasn't horrible, but I just was like, I thought he was maybe mimicking somebody on the screen.
But isn't there a mind-muscle connection?
100%.
I mean, that's a real thing. People 100%. Don't understand. Like,
there's a point in life where you become unconsciously competent. In other words, I drove over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I had my GPS in there, but I mainly use GPS for how long it's going to take,
ETA,
and so I can see traffic.
Yeah.
But you could drive your car and not even think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been doing it long enough. Yeah. You're unconsciously competent.
Yeah.
He's not at that level.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He was not at that level to where he could be watching, some video on YouTube that wasn't one arm rows and be building his back. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I bet that guy probably doesn't change.
No.
I mean,
I'm giving him an E for effort for showing up.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like you got people sitting on the equipment. We just didn't. That's not how. That's not how we did it. That's not how we was introduced to the gym.
No.
There's a such thing as gym etiquette. And I know everybody got to, their followers. They got to film the exercise. Yeah. I know. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But the whole just, I did a set of leg extensions. Well, I'm getting ready to do some leg extensions. But I'm gonna sit on the leg extensions for 10 minutes. And finish my Texas before I do first rep.
Do my first rep.
And so then as a trainer, I'm trying to train people. I look across the room. I'm like, okay, that's where I'm going next. And I see the person sit there. I'm like, oh damn. Oh, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah.
And then I'll do one set here, and then do another set here, and I look up and they still haven't done a set yet. Oh. So I just walk up. I'm like, how many more you got? Yeah. Oh, I'm just getting ready to get started. I'm like, well, you need to get started then.
Put your phone away, bitch. What the fuck?
So then bro. And I'm trying not to be that dude at the gym. And
well, you are black, so you have to be careful.
I'm big and black, so I do.
I didn't know if you knew this.
Yeah. So and that's what I told the manager. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be the asshole to tell these people how to do it. Put some signs up. No texting while doing in between sets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
your
retarded.
Ass up, man. People are here to work.
Share the equipment. Anyway, I'll go. That's why I tangent real bad about that.
That's why I like going to gyms where there's no fucking body.
The key, like the anytime.
Like the one,
fitness?
I go there. And there's like 6 people in there. 4 of them are 80 years old, and they're on a fucking bike.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that one you took me to.
Nice.
We had the whole gym to ourselves pretty much. Yeah, I'm personal training, mostly executives.
Right.
And if in other words, if they don't do it with me, they won't do it.
Yeah.
Like every last one of them's like, I got to do this. Blah 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 blah.
It's accountability,
and that's why I hire coaches. Accountability is everything.
Yeah.
So, but and so it's just hard to. And I handle it, but it's just I'm just like, man, come on, y'all.
Dude, you're the most polite gym person ever. I mean, even when you get irritated, you're like
they put like 6 or 7 plates on the sled and then walk off.
Yeah.
I walk right over to the treadmill after you. Hey, man, when you get done with the treadmill, go unload that shit,
what
man.
are you doing?
I'm trying to. Whew.
I know. That's why we need to have our own gym.
1,000,000%.
And we'll have rules. We'll have big neon signs.
Well, first of all, if you're coming to our spot, you done already been screened, and we done already let you know what time it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what we want to build is very. Unique. I won't say exclusive, but it's exclusive. Like in other words, I'm not going to tell people they can't come, but it's just there's levels to this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's like, and the purpose of the gym is not, our number one purpose is not just to make money.
Right.
You know, that's what I think is a bad way to start something that you have passion in. Just to think like, oh, I want money, so I'm going to do this. You know what I mean?
I look at what we're talking about as not a money maker. It should make money.
It's going to make money, but
what I'm saying is someplace to put the money.
Yeah.
To make the money make money for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, having some place where you can go and learn about what's really going on, you know, have all the resources from food to supplements to hormones, whatever, and then all the modalities under one roof.
Yeah.
And the way that we set it up to where we don't own everything. We basically set it up and then we hire the best technicians.
Yeah, we create.
So you could get the best competency in the highest level of work.
Service, yeah.
And then that person doesn't have to foot the bill for all that equipment. I'll buy the best of the best. And then we just hire several different people so we can always handle as many people as possible.
We got to bring in people that are going to fit under our umbrella, like our train of thought, right? Like our purpose. And I know for anything I've ever done like this in health, it's always been number one to help people.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything else, you know. And money, you know, it comes and goes, man. I mean, you know, you've made a lot of money. You've lost a lot of money. Same with me, man. I've been on both sides. But, you know, shout out to Chase. And he's the guy behind the scenes here. But we were talking before we started the podcast. And I told him, I said, look, man, it's not the success that has given me all the knowledge and everything. It's all the failures.
All the failures.
Those are the scars,
100%.
man.
I tell people all the time, I am an expert. But I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at what to do. I'm an expert at what not to do.
Right? Because I've done it, and I know what not to do.
Don't do that.
No, but that's what they don't. And people don't understand that. Like the people that are the most successful have failed the most.
The most.
I
mean, like Jordan says it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and Kobe. That's why they were so relentless. And that's the thing. It's like you're trying to fail so much till you can't mess up no more.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the key
when I used to compete and do my pose routines, people was like, "You make it look so easy." I'm like, "I've been practicing this same routine, 30 minutes a day for 4 months."
Yeah,
it's a 3-minute song, so that means 10 times I do my routine. That's one of my cardio.
You can do it in your sleep.
So when I get to the show, if you mess up my music, I'm stopping and you gonna fix the. You know what I'm saying? I put too much into this. I remember one time I was in Australia, and I had just did the Arnold the week before in Ohio.
Yeah.
And I sent the same dude work both shows. He said, "Well, just send me your music email it." So I emailed it. First time worked perfect in Ohio. And then he said, "Hey man, for some reason I didn't save it. Can you email it again?" But this time he was in Australia.
Oh.
Right. So I emailed it to him, and it only got like part of the song.
Oh.
The reason why is he put I'm out of country right now message on his email, so it didn't accept the whole download.
So give him partial download.
Yeah. So he loads my music into the thing. Didn't pay attention that it was only like 30 seconds of the 3-minute pose routine. Yeah. Anyway, I go up there to pose. The music cuts off, and I'm like, what the hell was going on?
Yeah.
And so I walk off stage, and they're like, you know.
People were like, what the fuck?
And so I go back there, and we figured out, so I sent it to them, the whole song.
Yeah.
And now, you gotta understand, this is a show. Yeah. This is a whole production.
Yeah.
And Tony Doherty, who's the promoter, and he's the MC right now, right?
He's like, what's
going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
So I go off stage, and then they let everybody else finish, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring me out at the end the crowd goes bananas.
Yeah.
And so Tony thinks that I set the whole thing up. He was just like, bro, I ain't never seen the crowd just demand, because they demanded to see, the situation. It was hilarious. He was like, did you set that up? Like, it's like, I've never.
Like, yeah, motherfucker, I set it up. I went through all that shit.
I'm like, you have to understand the key word or the root word of fanatic is fan. A fan is a fanatic. Yeah. They've been looking at the calendar. They done bought the tickets. They're coming there specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what they want to see. And if you give them anything less, they might not come next time.
They're not going to come next time. They're going to be like, I came to see Tony, and he fucking walked off stage. You know what the fuck?
It's weird because, like I say, they follow you, so they know the routine too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy how my manager was like, wow, he's like, they've never seen a crowd. Yeah. But I'm like, bro, we came all the way from the United States. I flew 20-something hours to get here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not
down the street.
I'm not giving them nothing less than what they came for and what I came for.
Well, I think it's a reflection on your professionalism. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't settle and say, just put on a song, I'll fuck it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna wing it.
Right.
Ask Elvis to wing it and see what he tells you.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's a promotion, it's a production, so it's a show. Like, there's a routine.
Yep.
There's the whole point of a routine is to do the routine.
I mean, they're following it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of them, I know that's how I was. Like when Vince Taylor used to do the Terminator, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think I want to see his music cut off and then he's like,
yeah,
bruh,
just put something on. I'll still do the Terminator. No, it won't work like that.
Come on,
King
Kamali or Melvin Anthony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Melvin probably could pull it off though. Melvin could do anything.
Well, Melvin is freestyle anyway. He's like the one of the few though.
Yeah.
One of the few. But man, what happened to all those guys? Those cats just retired,
Melvin's he got into a little legal situation, but he's training people.
Is he?
He's training himself, and I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped into the Masters? Olympia.
You gonna do it? Well, do it, man. Let's put it out there right now. Let's put it out there right now.
Yeah, because everybody else is going to try to put it out there.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I feel like it's something that I need to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, I'm doing it, because I'm not. The reason for me doing it is not the same as when I was competing before. Right. This would be a business decision. Right. I have to look at my health. I have to look at all the time, effort, energy, resources, all that type of stuff.
Because when you're all in, it's all in.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I decided to do is, one of my clients is getting ready for a show in November. And so I've been training her. I said, you know what? I'm actually going to train with you. Right? And so consistency from now until November will either tell me yes or no.
Yeah, you'll know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so that's what I'm, like I know a lot of people are wanting to know or whatever. And yes, I would love to do the Masters Olympia. Right?
People will be excited.
But, I'm 58. I'm not a bodybuilder, a competitive bodybuilder anymore. Yeah. So I would literally have to put that suit back on or that hat back on, and which I really don't mind.
Would you reinvent?
Well, there's a lot of things that I would do different because I know better now. So I'm definitely going to keep myself out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to impress anyone like I was before, because I'm competing against Dexter, Phil, Kai, Victor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different situation.
Group, man. That was the group.
I might be up there with a bunch of immolates like me, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have the same killer attitude. Right. I really do believe, especially, like I say, I'm a physique guy.
Right.
And, I've been, looking at my untrained physique for the last 6.5, 7 years now, almost 8 years now.
Right.
And, but now that I'm actually been consistent, I've actually trained, out of the last 15 days, I've trained like 13 times, 12 times, something like that. Yeah. And I actually see my body changing. The weights feel good in my hand again. I'm still not eating nothing but maybe like 3 meals a day tops.
Yeah.
So I'm
How many meals were you doing back then? Like 6?
6 to 10.
6 to 10.
Yeah.
Fuck, what the macros
so when I was,
on that? How much protein is that?
So I was doing like 350 protein, 250 fats, and probably 50 carbs. And then one day,
But you were like walking around close to 300 or 300. Right?
Yeah, I was peeled at 3:05. Remember my email is Tony Freeman 305.
Oh yeah.
I literally was in
What
contest
show was
shape.
it? You were 306 and you were peeled.
Well, I didn't take that to the stage, but I ended up at 293.
Yeah.
Was that was 09?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Was there anybody that big back then? I don't.
No, I remember going to the athletes meeting that I scared the shit out of them. Because you have to understand, in 08, I was like probably about 265
that's
at the prejudging, right? And I was about 275 at the night show, maybe 278. Yeah. I filled out really
that's
good.
That's the one in 08, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 09, like I said, I was so crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the year I busted my bursa sack.
Oh, yeah.
On Thursday night. So nobody got to really see what I brought to Vegas except for the people at the athletes meeting. Yeah. I mean, I had on white spandex.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were fucking with them, huh?
I was fucking with
them. You were fucking with them?
Yeah. And then
that was your whole wardrobe back then. It was all fucking
everything spandex. I have nothing else. And so I hit my knee on the coffee table, went to the athletes meeting. My knee swelled up it looked like Mount Fiji.
Coconut.
You know, it was just crazy. It had a point on it and everything.
Oh, shit.
And so I had never had nothing like that happen to me. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so they called the EMT.
Yeah.
And they was like, here, take these ibuprofen. Now, I've taken maybe, I'd say 4 ibuprofen in my entire existence.
Right.
And 2 of them was that night.
Wow.
And it just messed my whole gut up and I couldn't eat. And I just started slow. It ruined it.
Yeah.
But man, that was the smallest my waist ever was. Yeah. That was the biggest I ever. It was.
You look crazy.
Because 08 everybody freaked out.
Yeah.
Well, people don't understand. I literally went right back into prep mode right after the tour. So we did 08.
Yeah.
We did the tour. I did all the shows from the next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so, I was on point. I think I did 11 shows between Olympia.
Is it easier to do that? To stay active?
No, it's not easier. It's easier to stay in the zone. I always tell people, stay in the zone. You know, people talk about off season, on season. I'm just like,
well, a lot of these guys, like for the Olympia guys, they only do the Olympia.
Yeah. If you're in the top 10, and you let yourself get fat in the off season, you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah.
And it's hard on your body.
It's hard on your body, and you're not putting on quality flesh. You're not putting on quality muscle because, when you gain 30 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever, that's liquid. It's still liquid. It takes a couple of years before it starts to solidify. Yeah. In other words, your dry, lean body mass is not increasing. Even though you gain 30 pounds, 1 or 2 of it's actually you. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't stay in the zone for 2, 3, 4 years, you'll just deflate. As soon as you stop doing whatever, you'll just deflate. But if you can, get what I'm saying? Like I had 400 grams of carbs once a week for almost 2 years. The rest of the time was protein and veggies and healthy fats. So that was hard, dense muscle. I mean, I could have been 340, 350 if I had just let myself, if I had been doing insulin and all that other crap.
Oh, dude.
Imagine being 320 something with no insulin and no carbs.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's done that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Has anybody done that?
It scared the crap out of me. I called my boy. I was like, I got to stop this. This is crazy because I could feel myself growing.
No
and,
kidding.
When you almost 50 years old, you don't need to be feeling yourself growing.
And usually that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not normal for sure. Who do you got? I know the Olympia's coming up. That's a pretty good lineup, man.
So
it's a pretty good lineup.
I really love Derek as Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
He from head to toe. He got the face.
Yeah.
He got the body. He comes with the conditioning.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about Olympia is, bodybuilding is, they're quiet.
Yeah.
They're not. If I was Mr. Olympia, I would be on television.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, you remember Ronnie used to do that? Ronnie
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so now that's not for everybody, you know, and I'm not saying that you're not doing a good job if you're not on television, but what I'm saying is that's what it's for.
Yeah.
If you're number 1 in the world at anything,
you need to let them know.
People need to know.
Yeah.
And like
Especially
I say, he has
everything.
He has the face, he has the personality, he has the physique. So he should be everywhere.
Why they don't.
I mean, he got a family. Everybody has the right to do what they want to do. I'm just saying, like, to accelerate the sport itself. CBum Same thing. He doesn't really get out much.
Do shit. He's got his YouTube channel.
Right. And so now think about this. If we didn't have social media, we wouldn't have no clue about none of them. That's what I'm saying.
Or their life, or their, that's what I'm saying. That's everything.
So, again, not knocking it. It's a different era.
Yeah.
If you don't got to do it, you don't got to do it. But the point I'm trying to make is that's the only thing that I see they can really improve on, because the physique, him and Hottie, I mean,
they're both right there, man.
The level of musculature, they're so short. Like, if they had any kind of height on them, it would be just lights out for me. Because
what
Samson,
like 5'5", 5'6"?
We can give him 5'8", but I'm just saying I doubt it. Bro. I'm very generous. I know Hottie's not 5'8".
No.
But so now they leave the door open for Samson and Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Andrew. I'm just like, to be honest with you, once he gets it all,
it's gonna be hard.
Ain't gonna be nothing they can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could,
because he's 6'2". Right?
Yeah, around there.
6'1"?
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, he's around there. I've never stood next to him.
Yeah,
I've seen him at a distance before.
They lie a lot too. So who fucking,
you could see.
We gotta go to the expo like that one guy does with the tape measure, and he pisses people off.
So I'm not sure if he was the one that got me, but I was in and I know I'm jumping around, but I was in Boise, Idaho. And I was at the little bodybuilding.com event, and they ran up to me with the tape measure.
With the scale and the tape measure?
Well, they didn't come with the scale. They had a tape measure. And it was like, you said your waist is sub 33, blah, 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 blah. And I was like 304 right at the moment. I was like, go ahead. And they measured, and it was like 32 and some change. They was like, oh, damn. I'm like, bro, I ain't got to lie.
That guy's so funny, though, man. He gets people pissed off. He comes up and he's like, you told me your build weight is 300 and you're 6'3".
Right.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right. Pulls out a scale of measuring. He's like, and then some of them are cool, like he did it to C-Bum.
Okay.
And C-Bum was like,
right.
He was cool.
Right.
They measured him.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Yeah. And then there's other guys that are like pissed off. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like they want to fight him and shit like that. You know who told him to do that though?
Who?
Rich Piano told him to do that.
To go check people?
To go do that.
Yeah.
Rich Piano was like, you should go to the expo and walk around with a scale and a tape measure.
The game needs as much truth as possible, because it's already an illusion. Yeah. So as much truth as possible.
I don't know why people lie about shit like that. Who gives a shit?
It's easy to exaggerate.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to get my arms to 23.
Yeah.
So I got them to 22 and 7/8.
Did you call it 23?
I called it 23.
You went up, yeah.
Yeah.
So on a good day, it's 23.
Well, I probably could have messed with the tape or whatever. But I was just like, damn, it won't give me that eighth of an inch or whatever. But it is what it is. But it was a 22 and 7/8 lean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like striated.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember you ever not being lean, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Once I figured it out, I was like, I used to do the off season, on season.
Yeah.
And it just sucks so bad.
Didn't you feel bad?
It just sucks so bad. I was just like, I can't.
But that was like the old school way, though, right?
Yeah.
That was old.
Well, because they say, you got to put on size. Well, and just a little note to all you guys: when you show up every day and you're consistent, that's when you put on size. Yeah. You don't need to train for size or train for this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Yeah. You do need to prioritize your training. You do need to manipulate your nutrition and
calories,
all that type of stuff.
All that stuff,
but just if you show up and do it, you're going to grow.
Yeah, it's just going to take time.
Yeah. So all this, people are talking about, you got to do this many reps for hypertrophy and this many reps for the. I'm like, come on, man. When I use the sand, it's like a carpenter, like you building something, right? Yeah. When you first cut the wood, you use that rough grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you get all the nails put in a situation, then you use the medium. But then when you're ready, before you put the varnish and all that, you use the fine.
Yeah.
So that's 4 to 8 reps, 10 to 12 reps, 20 to 20. You know what I'm saying? Like all those are different levels of fine. And when you get to 6 weeks out, you're gonna be using more fine than coarse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
do you believe in the short reps to build the muscle, or is that really for building strength?
I know that they have studies, and I know that there's some science to it, but I also know that it don't work for everybody.
Right.
So in other words, there's people out there preaching hypertrophy training,
right,
and they're doing 4 to 8, 6 reps,
yeah,
but they're not big. They don't have any hypertrophy.
It's just strong.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So in bodybuilding, powerlifting, you want to be strength.
Right.
Bodybuilding,
Aesthetics.
not only do I want hypertrophy, which means more volume in the muscle cell, I want more muscle fibers. Mm-hmm. And that's when that 20 to 30 reps forces your body into hyperplasia. It forces your body to say, I'm going to need some more help. Now, I don't need just bigger fibers. I need more fibers.
Yeah.
And so don't get caught up in the hypertrophy.
Right.
Train for hyperplasia.
Right.
You probably won't achieve one or the other. You'll probably get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you gotta, not only do you do that to create that, now you gotta stay in the zone for a year or 2 or 4 or 7.
Yeah.
In order for it to become you.
I know with my clients, I tell them, I'm like, look, we got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because every person is built different.
Yep.
Your body reacts different. You do everything different. So, we try different things and we go, oh, your body likes this.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now we're going to fine tune this.
Yep.
And make it so that it fits what your goals are.
Yep. I was watching one of Andrew's videos, Psycho Fitness is his trainer. And he was like, Andrew's been a weightlifter this whole time. Now he's becoming a bodybuilder. Yeah. And some of the moves he was having him do was to work on, so like you see this hat.
Yeah.
It was working on just the you know what I'm saying? Not the whole.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like he was showing how he hits that center piece of the back.
Yeah.
And like that's the type of stuff you have to detail.
Yeah.
You're not going to build that with 4 to 8 reps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to sit there and you got.
Well, especially for him, he's got long muscles.
That's what I'm saying.
He's got long arms, like for him, you can relate to that.
Very much so, and that's what I'm saying. Remember when we used to train with rope, it was 50 reps for everyone.
Yeah. Even him.
Even especially him.
Rope would be in there with you, man. He's like, he was a crazy motherfucker. He would be like, all right, we're going to do 50. And by he meant him too. He'd get in there.
Rope would start it off. And then, so I told you a story about me, Rope, Shelbert, Lex Luthor, and Pepe. So it's 5 of us training, right? So Rope's first, right? And I'm last. And he was like, don't let me lap you. Go.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we would do 50 reps on the leg extension or whatever we working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 5 exercises.
Yeah, but it's 50.
5 exercises, 50 reps, 5 sets. So that's 25 sets.
And you just keep going.
Of 50.
Yeah.
And he's leading. Bruh. What's up, Rope?
Is that the one you left at?
Well, so the last one we were doing legs, and we did leg extension, leg press. We did horizontal hack. We did leg curl and walking lunges.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So 50 reps on the leg extension.
Yeah.
50 reps on the leg press. 50 reps on the leg curl. 50 reps on the walking lunges.
Yeah.
And then we ended with 50 reps on the horizontal squat. Right?
My legs just
so we do 4 rounds, right? We do on the 5th round. And I done did the walking lunges with the 60s now. Did the walking lunges, and we're on I'm last. Everybody's done theirs. We're on the vertical squat. I mean, the horizontal squat. Yeah. So I get to like 46. And I'm done. Like my shit is shot. And so I try to get up. And he
put you back down.
Forearms me back in there and said, you got 4.
You got 4 more.
So imagine now, Shelbert, Rope, Pepe, Lex.
Surrounding
Come on. It took me like 25 minutes to do 4 reps. Right, because I'm thinking, and, I got tears coming down. I ain't never cried during the workout, so I got tears coming out my eyes, and I'm just like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it took me like 25 minutes to get that last rep. So the last rep, I'm coming out at the bottom, I lock out, and then, it slams back down. Before I can even look to the right or the left, they gone. Puff of smoke. Poof. They didn't all, and so I can't even get out the machine. I roll out of the machine. I'm laying on the floor, and they're walking away, and I'm cussing them out. I'm like, you motherfuckers. And so after that, I literally came down to the gym. I saw him saying, "I ain't training with y'all no more.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm done." I was mad. I was cussing.
Your cousin.
Yeah, man. I barely made it to the car. I think I collapsed in the parking lot. I used to have to sleep with. Remember that orange Kramer's, the hot stuff?
Yeah.
I used to put that on my knees and wrap my legs with ace bandages so my knees wouldn't bend when I was asleep. Because if they bend, they'd lock up.
Oh no shit.
That's the kind of torture.
How long that recovery take?
I mean, every leg workout. I used to do it. It used to happen every leg workout.
Oh man,
bro, think about it. 50 times 25
I know.
is a lot.
Dude, I worked out with Rope for a whole year.
And it's be the stack too. It ain't like it's the stack on everything.
Rope his training style is crazy. But listen, man, when he trained with Lee, the great Lee Haney, Lee, one of the greatest ever. I mean, he's arguably.
You almost didn't need no diet when you was.
No,
I used to get in shape on
you actually needed to eat fat, man.
On Wendy's and metrics.
You have to eat like fat if you're going to train with Rope. You better have lots of fat, lots of carbs, lots of calories. They're not going to stick around. No. I remember the first day I went in. Nobody ever told me. Like your ass didn't tell me. Nobody ever told me.
Remember, you can't out train a horrible diet. And Rope's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Rope was a crazy motherfucker, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, nobody told me. I went in that first day, and I want to say the first day we did like arms or shoulders or something like that. I just remember I was like swollen for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Like it just wouldn't go away.
All right.
It was so much, Just when I thought like we were done, we worked out for like 3 hours. It was like literally like 3 hour workout. Yeah. I was like, how the fuck?
Well, that's how long it takes to do 50 reps
you can't
for
say
5
shit,
people.
Right? In his gym, you can't say shit. Mm-mm. You got to just go to whatever the next one is. You can't be like.
You better conserve your energy and voice.
I didn't say shit. I was like, I don't care I don't care if I die in here today. I'm going to finish this fucking thing.
And that's the psychosis of it.
Yeah.
You would just come back tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Already knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah. But, man, that was Lee Haney's training partner for a long time.
I used to wonder, did Lee do all that? Because, Lee says stimulate, not annihilate.
Right. It's so weird.
So I've been meaning for the 40 years. I've been meaning to ask Lee. Did you ever do that 50 rep shit with him?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're gonna find.
Stay tuned.
Do a workout. That's right. Stay tuned. We're gonna get Lee in there. I mean, he had to have done it at least once, right?
Yeah, to at least. Well, because that's probably where he got the stimulate, not annihilate.
Probably because he was traumatized from Rope.
Annihilation.
Yeah, man. And Rope was one of the greats too, man. He was a great bodybuilder as well.
Yeah.
But he just, I don't know. I think to continue in that sport, you have to have this mental thing.
It's a huge physical aspect, but it's really mental.
It's a lot.
When you look at the top people, they're locked in, bro.
Yeah.
They are locked in.
Yeah.
Talk to Ronnie, Dexter, and they are locked in. 24/7. There was a few of us who was locked in most of the time. We had the Chris Camirs and the Victor. We like to have fun.
Yeah.
We were we indulged a little bit.
Yeah.
But a Dexter and a Ronnie and a Dorian, when they was doing they was locked in.
But Dorian, man, he would go to his dungeon in fucking England, away from everybody, and just fucking,
So, hanging out with Dorian now is cool. Is really cool. I mean, he's just such a cool person. So,
his mental is super different, right?
Yeah.
Like he's into ayahuasca and
all of that.
All that, man.
He
lives in Spain.
Yeah.
He still looks good.
Yeah. Looks really good.
And he talks about, all the stuff he had to do back then and why he quit, why he stopped. He was like, look, I just too many injuries. I didn't want to continue with the drugs.
That style and philosophy will show you your limit.
Yeah.
I learned my limit.
Yeah.
Following his style. I had to back off. I'm like, I can't do Dorian.
Yeah.
I can't do Ronnie.
Yeah.
I can't do any of them. I had to pretty much make up my own. And that's kind of why I had so many different coaches, because Palumbo showed me how to get shredded.
Right.
Anthony Aponte showed me how to get huge.
Right.
He also showed me how to train to not injure myself.
Right.
And still get huge. I had Joe McNeil, who didn't really train me, but I learned a lot from Joe. Randy Skoltz, same. They was from the same camp. I know I'm probably leaving on somebody, but those guys. I ended up with Dave Kalick. He showed me a little stuff.
Well, Dave was like the original mass monster. He was the original.
Yeah, Dave
300 pounds. Yeah, Palumbo.
Yeah.
He was the OG of that.
Yeah, I worked with Dennis James. So I worked with I either worked with the guru or the student of the guru, to learn the stuff that I didn't really know, or to also learn what I wasn't about to do.
Right.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff I did some stuff with Milos and all that, and I'm just like, oh no, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but it showed me like to the extremes of what people do. You know, because you're looking at the end result, you don't know what they did to get there, and it's a little startling sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like unfortunately, we've lost some great bodybuilders just in a recent past couple of years, you know, and a lot of it has to do with pushing too much.
That's why I say you will find your limit if you continue to push the envelope. And I always tell people go for it, but just use sense. Understand that you are mortal. I used to feel superhuman, like legit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like before I tore my pec, bro, I used to put 6 plates on my back and bust out 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At 100, you know, like 200 and something, like, you know, not that, not when I was, that's exactly. Yeah. Like 235, 240 when I was lifting that kind of weight. Yeah.
Squats.
Yeah. And what, I mean, 7 plates kind of scared me because I did 3 reps.
Yeah.
Fairly easy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, where does it stop? And I was like, nah, I don't
Ronnie was doing what, 10 plates on you?
Ronnie did 8 plates.
8 plates on you.
For 2 reps. Free weight. Yeah. So when I was doing, I did 7. Damn, I did do that shit.
That's a lot, bro.
7 plates, and it was at like 2:30 in the morning. There used to be a Gold's Gym out there by the airport.
Yeah.
We used to drive from, Doraville to the Gold's Gym at the airport and be doing that shit at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You know, Ronnie, he was a power lifter before he even. Yeah. And his coach was like, dude, you got potential, man. You should look into this body. But because he was natural. Just people don't realize how much genetics Ronnie had before even
31
touching steroids. You know what I mean?
31 is when he did his first cycle.
Yeah, and
Lee Haney retired at 31.
Yeah,
that's what people don't understand. Like, you know,
he's an outlier.
Now that just goes to show you the extreme that Ronnie took it.
Yeah,
because he retired. I think he was like 46 or something like that. So, like 15 years. It was 15, 16 years. But, I mean, his first, I don't know how many Olympias he did before he won the first one.
Because I remember he was 16.
So I think he turned pro in 91. I think he did his first Olympia in like 93 maybe. No, maybe 93, 94.
Yeah.
And then he won in 98, but he had done it like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. I think he got 9th the year before he won.
I think the first time, didn't he get like 16th or something like that?
Something like that.
And he was like, I remember when he won and you guys were doing the, Olympia press conference and everybody was like talking, like Sean Ray especially, he was talking a lot of shit. And he was like, listen, man, when I was 16, I didn't say shit about being 16. I just went back and did more work. You guys are up here complaining about shit. It doesn't fucking matter anyway.
Right.
You're not winning anything. Like, that was it.
Yeah, by the time, and so a lot of people, the story of, who's going to replace Dorian. You had Flex was the front runner.
Yeah.
And then whoever, you had Flex, you had Kevin, you had Chris, and then Ronnie. Ronnie, like I say, Ronnie was 9th place the year before he won.
Yeah.
So they were looking past him.
Yeah.
Sean, all of them was looking past Ronnie. Yeah. And
he showed up.
He showed up like, literally perfect. I wish he had stayed on that track for, because 99, that's when he just put the pedal to the metal. Yeah. But if he had stayed on that same track, I'm going to keep my waist tight and just, he probably would have won 10, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he looked ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And so what he had to do, when what's his name? Gunther beat him in that show.
Yeah.
And I think Gunther was better than he was at that show. Yeah. And that's why I always say, in bodybuilding, whoever's the best that day, just give it to him.
Just give it to him.
Just give it to them, because they probably it may or may not happen again, and so that's when the sport gets so diluted and foggy when you just give it to the person that's best that day. It's not that difficult.
That's the part of the sport I can't stand, when you fucking looking up there and you're like, there's no way this dude beat this dude. There's no way. But they still do it because of the business side of things.
I understand,
but it's not. It shouldn't be that way.
But you look at other sports.
Yeah.
Any kind of gray area in any other sport, it goes down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that happens in bodybuilding. It's just who's affected by who's affected. Well, they don't have television contracts and huge corporation contracts to be worried about. Yeah. So that's why, they do allow it to go the way it goes. What I am happy about is now that Luke Wood owns it, no one can do anything to circumvent him. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You can't give him money to make him do whatever.
Yeah, he's got
so
The Rock almost bought the Olympia.
Yeah, but he ain't got. Well, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
They were very close.
I think they could have done something, but they didn't want to show. They wanted to show certain things, and Jim was like, "No, we gonna," you know what I'm saying? So
we got to stay in our lane.
We got to stay in our lane, and so I admire that. Yeah. Like I say, now that they have a criteria, Tyler sat down and literally gave everybody the criteria. Yeah. So now all the athletes have to conform to the criteria, or you can't be upset. If you come to a show and you did not listen to the criteria and you don't place well, it's your fault. Yeah. But if you conform to the criteria and you show up, now if you don't win, it's because somebody was better than you.
Was better.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, back in the day when they let the big bellies got it, that was like 4 or 5 years. I'm like, all they had to do was establish a criteria, and the bellies. Do we have big bellies now?
Mm-mm. And if you do, they're not winning.
No, exactly. As soon as you come out there with a big belly, they send you packing.
Yeah.
You get knocked down, I don't know how many places.
I think
so now the bellies are gone.
I think going with a classic physique division was a smart idea.
Yes, I wish they would force the criteria over the weight.
Yeah.
Now they are slowly increasing the weights every year, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's their thing. They can do it how they want. But, don't deny that classic is a look. It's not a size. It's not a certain amount of weight for a certain amount of height. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got people that are doing classic because they either can't or don't want to put on crazy muscle to be in the open.
Be big, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
but Chris is knocking on that door, man.
Well, I truly believe that they're slowly getting rid of that stringent weight limit, or they just keep bumping it up. So in other words, if he was 243, we'll bump it up to 249. You know what I'm saying? So that gives him room to put on 5 pounds of muscle, which most people ain't doing that in 12 months.
No.
And so now when he gets to 247, we'll bump it up to 251. Yeah. And then when you get to 240, 250, we're going to bump it to 255. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so if they continue, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's people like Keon, who was basically forced out of classic, and I don't give a damn how much weight he put on.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's 212 now.
Yeah.
But he's still classic. But his height, his weight in classic is like, 179.
Really short, right?
It's like 179 or 182 or something like that for his height.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's 212 and still classic. And he'll be 235 and still classic.
Classic, yeah.
I think.
And how tall is he? He's like 5'5"? He's short.
Man,
he's short.
He's probably 5'6", 5'7".
5'6", yeah.
I think eventually, that's up to him because, I wanted him to stay in classic, but I understand the weight.
He won 212, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he won. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's gonna continue to win. Now Clarita is gonna push him.
Yeah.
Like a grocery cart in the parking lot. I mean, he's gonna push him now.
Yeah.
But he's just so well put together, and he's so locked in.
Yeah. He's very dedicated.
He's so locked in with every rep. I watch his workouts. There's no wasted motion.
Yeah.
He's not showing. He's not. What do you call it? ego lifting.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like making love to the weight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's,
that's the best way to put it.
yeah.
I like that.
That's.
That's a shirt.
So if you the lady that was talking about men being naturally polygamy.
Yeah.
My comment was a good ass workout in the gym and a good ass session with a woman.
Yeah.
Same
thing.
Same
endorphins.
same feeling.
Right?
Same.
Well,
same.
Who said that in Pump and Iron? Didn't Arnold say that?
Arnold says like when I'm at the gym,
yeah,
I'm,
it's like
I'm
when
coming.
I'm on stage posing,
I'm
when I'm
coming.
in the gym, when I'm home with my girl. Yeah,
it's the same for us.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, the whole, foreplay is warming up.
Yeah.
And then
the workout,
and then you climax. I mean, like today I did back, and my last exercise I did back and shoulders, but my last exercise was laterals. I do this round robin of laterals. It's like front raises, side raises, bent over raises, behind raises, side raises here.
That's one set?
And then shrugs. So it's 80 reps.
That's one set.
One set.
Continuous.
Yes.
What's the
so
weight?
I did 2 rounds of that. So the first round I did use 25s.
Yeah.
Then I went up to 30s. Well, when I did my last squeeze on 77, 78, 79, 8, I was toast. I had to stop and woosah.
Bring it back to earth.
And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what, if you really lock in and you're lifting the weight that's necessary.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if they didn't put them little numbers on there, you wouldn't have no idea how much you're lifting.
Right.
So don't focus on how many reps, how much weight you're lifting. Focus on, number one, know the functionality of the muscle that you're training.
Right.
So you can train it through its full range of motion. You can allow it to do its job against the resistance. Mm-hmm. And they have the cool equipment to help make it easier. But it's not about, put another plate on there and just, you know what I'm saying, you banging it out. I'm like, yes, you're working some muscles, some tendon, some skeleton. Yeah. That's not bodybuilding.
Right.
That's lifting weights.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. So when you really lock in, like the girl that I'm training, I told her, I said, I'm going to train you like a bodybuilder with the brakes on, because she's doing figure.
Oh, okay.
So you have to look you're trying to match a criteria. Right. So we're going to match the criteria, but I'm going to train you like a bodybuilder. And so we're headed to bodybuilding. We're just gonna get off at the figure exit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like once we, they want you to have crazy delts, crazy back, tiny waist, glutes,
calves.
Separate, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I said so. They're not gonna mark you. They're not ever gonna mark you down and say.
She's pro?
Not yet.
Okay.
They're not ever gonna mark you down and say that's too much back in figure or too much shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if their shoulders get too crazy striated, but volume.
They want those nice rounds.
Yeah, they want the nice back, nice shoulders.
Yeah, it's figure.
Tight,
right.
Tight waist, tight glutes, all that. Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm gonna have to train you, certain ways to get that look.
To get that look, yeah. So sculpt everything together.
Yeah, I studied the girl C, and she's just wow. Yeah. Because you gotta understand when she showed up. She got third the first time, and the 2 girls in front of her was like unbeatable before. Yeah, they was the, you know what I'm saying.
They were the leaders.
She knocked off the first one, and then she knocked off the Latoria. I'm just like, oh wow. Yeah. And then she's,
that's what that tells you about her, man. She's mentally strong. Yeah. Because she was like
to like I said, when it came down to her and Latoria, I'm a Latoria fan. She's taller and all that, and then I was like, wow. This is crazy, because before C showed up, Latoria was untouchable. Yeah. And then somebody else then came out the woodwork, and so she's going for number 10 now? Yeah. Or 8? Yeah. Is it 8?
I think it's 8. Yeah. I think it's 8. But you know what, though? That's good for the rest of the pack, too. Because anybody who's like, okay, now this is my fuel. That's my target.
Well, if you ever get up there and match her... Or, God forbid, if you're better than her, but just matching her
it's accomplishment.
Is insane, because she's literally the epitome. Yeah. And I'm gonna switch over back to the men's open. Derek is the epitome. Yeah. If he had any kind of height, he would have Arnold Schwarzenegger type. Yeah. He would put. You know who he reminds me of? Huh. Remember the magazine Muscle Mag? Yeah. Max Rep. Yeah. He is Max Rep, bro. Max Rep was like 6'3", though. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But he's built just like Max Rep.
Just shorter.
I actually was trying to Google and find an old magazine so I could show people and so.
Yeah.
But if anybody got an old muscle mag, like 20-year-old muscle mag, and that Max Rep cartoon is Derek.
I think it's going to come down to Derek and Hadi again.
100. And Samson, and it might flip flop. I mean, after seeing Hadi at the Arnold, I've really never seen conditioning like that since like Dorian in '93. Like, he doesn't have the crazy separation, striation like Dorian did, but you could tell that his flesh was like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was devoid of body fat, devoid of extracellular water.
Yeah. The thing about Hadi is too, Hadi lives it, man.
Oh yeah,
he's 24/7.
Yeah, that's how you gotta be, bro.
But he loves it too, Like
why not?
It's
I mean,
not like
he's literally the king of Iran, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's like he got a statue over there.
It's like Elvis. He's like Elvis in Iran.
Yeah. So I mean, you're completely locked in, and Derek's the thing. Like I say, the top four, and I'm gonna throw Nick in there because I like Nick. Yeah. Nick is just not as pleasing to the eye as the other ones. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's just on there. He's on their level, size, conditioning, and he's the mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
the freakiest for sure.
You need that. Yeah. He could beat those guys if they didn't come in with his conditioning.
That one year that who was it that had to withdraw, and he was like,
Nick, because his hamstring. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
he would have won that year. Because
maybe
there was no one.
You know what? You're right because Hadi and Derek. It was. I think Derek won from the back and Hadi won from the front or something like that. But if Nick had came in,
Nick
complete
crazy.
Both front and back, maybe.
I think Nick would have won. I mean, if anything, he would have for sure be considered as the winner.
It would have been. He would have been a difference maker. Like I say, we don't know. Yeah. Like I say, that top six is I won't say it's set. But someone would have to really screw up to not be in it because they're that much better than 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? So.
I do need to correct you on one thing though.
What?
I'm the king of Iran. Okay.
Oh,
he's just the Elvis of Iran.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's get that shit straight.
Well, then if you're gonna get technical, then you got to talk to your boy Pat David. Then.
Patrick. No, Patrick's up there, man. He's in the court.
Yeah, he's
okay. In the court.
Okay, cool.
That's my brother.
I admire that dude tremendously.
I love Patrick.
I want to do like. Maybe we can get him, or maybe Patrick, us on him on his show.
Patrick would be great, man. Patrick needs to come on so we can do it. All
right, so you brought him up, and I like him, and I don't know how much time we got left, but he was talking about this plan, this unrealized tax plan that they got set for us, and I mean, did you see what that is?
I saw, So
I'm like, just do like everybody don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you even speak that? 25. I mean, the unrealized taxes is crazy because they're gonna. So now, when you get your house appraised, and so you paid $100 for it, and it appraised for $170. They're gonna charge you taxes 25% on that $70.
Yeah.
You live in the house and you ain't selling it, and you didn't refinance.
No.
so and then when they do that, everybody freaks out and the economy crashes. So now your house is worth 90.
Yeah.
But you still paid 70, 25% on the tax. So do you get a refund?
Fuck no, you don't.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just like,
shit.
Like, bro, like that's so insane. The reason for investment, investing or making money, goes out the window.
Yeah, you don't want to.
So do you think now that I said that out of my mouth, because you've heard of universal basic income, right? Yeah. So if they destroy America and send everybody into the house, into the metaverse, and now you basically your social credit score determines how much of the universal basic income you get.
Like China.
And then if you decide to be a rebel, they just deduct money off your shit.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the setup for that?
That's exactly,
because no one will want to own a house. No one will want to own stocks and bonds and all that type of stuff. Everybody will be trying to hide everything. Everyone.
You own a house, right? You bought a house. I did it on purpose because
I rent.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
My brother. So we both rent because we're smart. And it's like, literally, there's been times where I'm like, I need to fucking buy a house.
Yeah, I mean, I want to own.
Then this shit like this pops up. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking buy a house, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean.
Can you imagine? I got friends with millions and millions, and I can't even imagine. They got it all spread out all over the place.
Real estate investors and stuff like that.
And they start talking about unrealized gains.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to go and listen to him break it all the way down. Yeah. It's like terrifying.
He terrifies me all the fucking time, man. Yeah. Every time I see one of these little videos he does, I'm like, I don't want to press on this. I don't want to watch this shit, but I'm going to watch this shit. And right after, I'm like, heat. God damn it.
He be bringing the heat.
And the thing with him is, he's very well connected, so the information he's getting is
legit.
It's legit.
Yep. It's legit. I watch Redacted. There's a lot of stuff out there that you're not going to find on mainstream media that's really going on. That's why I trip on people's having that super strong emotional opinion about stuff. When I see people, Trump, he incites racism. Yeah. I'm like, no, he doesn't. I'm like how? I'm a grown man. You're a grown man. Right. How can I make you racist? Yeah. No. Yeah. I can't.
You can't. Either I'm racist or I'm not.
If I'm a Trump supporter and I'm racist if Trump ain't even in the building. Yeah. So Trump ain't got shit to do with it. I'm just a racist. I'm promoting him because I like him or whatever, but he has nothing to do with me being a racist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If Trump said, stop being a racist, you'll be like, what? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are, once you get to a certain age, you're set in your ways. You have established
your beliefs,
your thoughts and belief and personality. So unless you go seek the truth, you will just live the lie, because it's all a lie from every aspect of our existence, unless you seek the truth and live the truth. Other than that, you live in a lie, whether you want to know it or believe it or not. Everything that they've ever told us, I'm 58, like I said, go through the history books, go through all Vietnam, 9/11, everything is all a lie. None of it was the exact truth the way that they spit it to us.
That's it, man. I think that's a good place to stop right there. It's all a lie. Fuck you guys. I'm just playing. Love you guys.
Don't live the lie.
Don't live the lie, and don't be racist. That's stupid shit.
It's very stupid.
Be real. Just love people the way they deserve.
One more thing. I was listening to this guy. He's a physician, and he's like in the room when you cross over. Uh-huh. He said he's seen thousands and thousands of people cross over. Right. And he said every single one of them. No one has ever said, bring me my trophies. Right. Bring me all my money, and I want to just feel it one more time. Yeah. They all they want is the people that they love. So in other words, after all this shit is over, said and done, it's all going to come down to love. Yeah. Period.
It's all love, man. So it's all love. We love you.
We love you.
We'll see you in the next one. Love you.